Greetings, everyone. Well, yesterday I talked about how Trump told the biggest lie in 20 years. And I got a lot of feedback from my conservative friends who were really upset that I would say that because they insisted that Barack Obama lied too. And maybe they're right. So we're going to look into that. And the title of my talk today, this is House of Prozaroff, the melting snowflake, thoughts from the deep state, right? GOP friends insist that Obama lied too, and they're right. Okay, they are right. And I used AI to look some of these things up. We're talking about the Affordable Health Care Act, which is also in play again. That may be one of the reasons the government shut down, because whether it's going to continue to be funded or if it's going to get severely cut back and raise premiums on some of the poorest people, maybe 20 some million people will get higher rates. Of course, we still have a percentage of people that can't even afford insurance. It's still unaffordable. Um, but let's go ahead and look at some of the facts. The truth is, yes, it looks like Barack Obama did stretch the truth, or it's just the fact that he didn't know the full implications. The same with Donald Trump. Donald Trump may not have fully understood what Project 2025 was. He never read it, but when he got into office, he did read it. He must have liked it, and therefore he implemented it. Over 48% of Project 2025 has been implemented. He has put many key players from the Heritage Foundation, Russell Voigt, all these people are in government. They've been appointed by Trump to implement Project 2025. So he's into Project 2025. I want to let the public know that. But to be fair, I made it sound like that was the biggest lie in 20 years. But the blowback, and it's good to get responses because they're right. People who told me, wait a second, the Affordable Health Care Act, that's problematic too. And Obama lied about that. Well, it's going to, again, like Trump, I made an excuse for Trump that he really did not know what was in Project 2025 until later, but maybe he was just being facetious and he really knew exactly what it was all about. I don't know. But he does have the backdrop that he never read Project 2025 in 2024. He can say that. We don't know. Is he really lying? It's questionable. Barack Obama, he came clean too. Barack Obama, although I'm not saying Trump came clean, but Barack Obama did sort of come clean, and we're going to find that out. That he did admit that he may have been a little bit inaccurate. Yes, let me go ahead. I got this from AI. Yes, President Barack Obama's statements about the Affordable Care Act, particularly the promises that if you like your health care plan, you can keep it. And if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor, were found to be misleading or inaccurate for many Americans. So this was not the whole story. The key points, the promise is Obama repeatedly stated that people who liked their health insurance plan or doctor would be able to keep them under the ACA. These assurances were made in speeches, press conferences, and official communications before and after the law was passed. Reality about the implementation, it was a different ball game. Once ACA got adapted, things happened. The ACA was enacted, millions of Americans received cancellation notice for their existing health insurance plans. This was primarily because those plans did not meet the new coverage standards set by law. So basically, let me put this, when we see that the insurance companies found a way to raise the premium to increase their profits. They can claim it's all because of risk, that they have to pay more money out, so they need more money, might have been their story. But they likely just raise the standards, which means they raise the premium and the cost passed on to the citizens of the United States. According to MSNBC News, the Obama administration knew as early as 2010 that 40% to 67% of individual market customers would likely lose their existing plan due to changes in policy terms that disqualified them from being grandfathered in under the ACA. So there we go. That tells us that Trump was wrong. People could not, in many cases, more than 50% of the people could not keep their health care plans after what they call Obamacare or ACA, the Affordable Health Care Act, went through. They lost their plans. Premiums and cost, what I was just talking about earlier. While the ACA aimed to reduce costs, premiums for individual market plans nearly doubled between 2013 and 2017. So the insurance companies are raking in the dollars. They're pulling in cash, taking people's money, forcing the law to make money to be taken from them. In some cases, it was illegal not to have health care coverage in some states. I mean, we are really going far with this, but again, Obama benefited a lot of rich insurance companies. There's no question about it. And he caused a lot of people stress who were caught in the middle. Not just the people who had to pay more money, the insurance agents who had to deal with this mess, who might have not made a whole bunch of new money off the changes. And so it's hard to know because it's sometimes hard to know who's getting the money. Some people hide behind PO boxes and you don't know where they're located, and they put salespeople up there who make a little bit of money, but they don't make the kind of money that the people behind the scenes often make. So we confuse who we really should be mad at. We're of course mad at whoever is in front of us, like the insurance salesperson, but the insurance salesperson is just passing the new rules that came down from the corporate headquarters, right? From the CEO. So let's think about that. Now, the public reaction and apology. So, when we beat up on President Barack Obama, let's find out if Barack Obama ever admitted or confessed to maybe being a little bit off or wrong. This backlash was significant because of this policy where people were losing their insurance coverages and doctors. So in 2013, PolitiFact named Obama's "Keep Your Plan Promise" the lie of the year. So the lie of the year. So that's right up there with Donald Trump. Obama later apologized. He acknowledged that the administration had not been clear enough about the law's implications, and that some Americans were misled by the assurances. So Barack Obama did come clean. He did admit to wrongdoing. And that doesn't really make it all that better. It just shows that he admitted he made a lot of mistakes, but did anybody get their money back for the mistake? Which is just an apology. It's empty. But I'll give him credit that he did make an apology. Healthcare is very complicated. It's incredibly complicated and complex, and we all have an opinion, but that opinion is just that. It's like somebody has an opinion on unemployment benefits, which is really bad because you can have opinions that are really stupid and fly in the face of law, and we got to be careful. And those opinions help the politicians operate, right? So if you don't like something, can they use that as a backdrop to steal money? Hey, most people don't believe you deserve unemployment benefits anyhow. So if we decide to steal the money and sit it into a Swiss bank account, nobody's going to care because they hate people getting unemployment anyhow. They don't even think we should even have unemployment. Well, would you want it to go to like 50,000 different people or to two people who are stealing taxpayers' money? Well, maybe you don't like either two of those scenarios, and maybe you just want the money handed back to the taxpayers. That's not going to happen anyhow, but let's go ahead and continue on with what AI explained to me. I used Copilot here. It says, while ACA did expand coverage and reduce the uninsured's rate, for the uninsured customer, Obama's statements were overly simplistic and failed to account for the complexities of the new law. So particularly how it would affect existing insurance plans and premiums was off. It was wrong. Obama made a miscalculation. These statements were not lies in the sense of intentional deceit for all cases, but they were misleading and ultimately inaccurate for millions of Americans, and it would cost them more money once the Affordable Health Care Act was passed. And therefore, the Affordable Health Care Act became a joke to them. It became the Unaffordable Health Care Act, and they were not wrong to be mad about that. So some of you crazy people on the left and you crazy people on the right, you need to chill out. It was a fact that Obamacare did hurt some people and cost them more money. This is referenced from politifact.com, NBC News, Paragon Institute, and CBS News. So some of those, yes, are liberal stations, but they're telling you that Barack Obama did make a mistake. And so I guess this should tell liberals that, hey, Trump is going to make some mistakes too. Project 2025 is really, to people who like good government, it's a dangerous way to go. But Trump might not even be aware of all the consequences. He may think he knows and he doesn't. And he may have to do one of these apologies later on, um, in 5 years from now when he's out of office. This is House of Prozaroff just letting you right wingers know I care about you as well. So I'm going to tell both sides of the story. So when I say Trump told the biggest political lie in 20 years, that was a mistake. And now I'm guilty of lying, right? Sort of. I'm sort of, not completely. I still think his support of Project 2025, when he told people he couldn't stand it and thought it was abysmal, he's really pushed the envelope on that one. This is the melting snowflake. I'm going to have to melt off of here. Like my station. Thank you for watching. Take care.